has always divided public opinion on what's great and what ain't. But after 61 years, it's time to change the way things are done. Time to stop the bickering and the barroom brawls. This series will finally settle those arguments once and for all. We've polled the nation, and after months of counting the votes, the results are in. Welcome to Australia's top 10 of everything. A lot of our favourite celebrities live on the other side of the world, and usually we only get to see them on a screen. But occasionally they visit our shores for a chat, so we can see them up close on a screen.
That's too much cool for one person.
Tonight, we're prying open the TV vault to revisit some of those wondrous and weird interviews. When Tom loved Nicole...
This is a great country. I tell Nick I want to move here.
And Billy got a little too comfortable with Ray.
I'm going to take my pants off.
This is Australia's top 10 stars in Oz. At number 10, he's the wicked Welsh singer, Tom Jones. Famous in the 60s for making hearts flutter and underpants fly, in '93, this singing sex symbol revealed how he first discovered music.
I've always sung. I mean, I sang, my mother tells me that when she used to hold me in the shawl, you know, in Wales, they hold babies different. It's called Welsh fashion. You know, they put the shawl around themselves and, you know, put the baby in so they can get on with the housework. You know, and so I'm there in the shawl, and anytime an up-tempo song, apparently, would come on the radio, I would start to, you know, give it all this. So I had a sister that was 6 years older than me, and she's a very mild person, you know, and so we're only two children. So after my mother having my sister, 6 years later, I'm born, and I'm sort of, you know, doing all this, and she says to this day, what have I given birth to here? You know, what is this? Why is this happening? So it's, you know, it was always been there that I was aware of music.
Yeah. Where did the raunchiness come from? Where did that in the voice come from?
Well, that was always there. I mean, it was...
What, even in the swaddling clothes?
Of course, exactly. That was when it started, you know. So, no, it's the type of songs, you know, if you're going to do an my cousins tell me, because I have a lot of cousins, and all of them sing, and they said, oh, you know, when Tommy was a little boy, as with the other children, if we had a party or something was going on, kids generally sort of stand in the corner and sing. Well, they said that Tommy, he had to get on the table. You know, and I couldn't even remember that, but they noticed that I wanted to, you know, sort of show off rather than just hide in the corner.
And when you went down to London then for the record contract, the producers there were saying that you were too raunchy, too forward, too sexual, too powerful. So you didn't tone down for them?
No.
I mean, there's not a bigger version than we see today, is there?
Not really. You know, even with Elvis Presley, Elvis had watched Showgirls, you know, a lot of those movements that he was doing. He had sort of watched other people do it and was doing that kind of thing. But myself, I've always liked to dance, you know, in the 50s when rock and roll began. I would be going to a lot of ballrooms and just put that into what I was doing. But it's very natural, you know. It's very rare I've used a choreographer, unless I'm doing something when I had my own television show and I would be doing songs with dancers, you know, production number. Then the choreographer would, you know, I'd have to sort of be, you know, in with the rest of the dancers. Yes. But when I do live shows, that's just natural stuff that comes up. The thing that happened when I came to Australia, first of all, in January of '66, I hadn't come up against this, you know, in Great Britain. Raunchy, you know, nobody had ever said, you know, when I went on television that, oh, you got to tone down or you got to be... That hadn't happened. The first time was when I did an Ed Sullivan show in New York. Right. And that was 9 years after Elvis had gone through the same thing.
They wouldn't shoot Elvis from the waist down.
Exactly, if he was going to move like that. And that was in '56, and then I was on in '65. They were telling me exactly the same thing. You must tone down. You can't do those suggestive movements. So I thought, oh, well, television, you know, American television, maybe, you know, you can't do that kind of thing. But when I came to Australia, to Sydney, with Herman's Hermits, it was Herman's Hermits and myself and my band, and the police sort of, who were supposed to have been in the stadium
Controlling the
protecting me,
crowd, yeah.
you know, they were saying, what the hell? You know, they were looking at me and, you can't do that kind of thing, you know.
So they took you off to jail.
Well, they almost did, you know. They said, if you carry on like this, we'll stop the tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they filmed it and then they reviewed it, but then they couldn't actually pinpoint anything that was obscene.
We've grown up a bit since then.
Thank God.
Breaking hearts at number 9 is the late Patrick Swayze. Actor, singer, dancer, loved by all. You know, the guy you beat up at school for being better than you.
It's 5 years since Dirty Dancing. Your mum is and was a choreographer. She did Urban Cowboy and
Yeah.
a whole bunch of other movies. I read somewhere, maybe a misquote, but you said that you were dancing in the womb.
I don't remember a time when I wasn't dancing or in theater.
At high school, there was in fact, you did dancing then. You did ballet dancing then, and with the subject of that got you some jostles and some the butt of
Yeah.
ridicule from mates.
Ballet shoes in my back pocket and playing the violin in the orchestra didn't go over too well.
What did you do?
Well, pretty much got beat up a lot. And then, you know, I started martial arts initially to defend myself, and then it became very much an art form for me. And, but
Was it your mum who said put the ballet shoes in the back pocket and then and beat the Jesus out of them?
yeah.
Or something like that?
But how I was raised with the point of view that if I ever start a fight, my dad would kick my tail, but if I ever didn't finish one, he'd kick my tail. So the certain thing happened. I was jumped by 5 guys in junior high school, and they beat me up real bad. And when I got to go back to school, I wanted to fight them all one-on-one. And so we went in the weight shack, and my father pulled the gloves away, and you know the principal and coach couldn't allow that. But my dad was so livid, you weren't going to stop. You know that I was going to fight, have the same chance against them one-on-one. So I thought, well, if I beat these guys up, then maybe they'll leave me alone. But all it did was make me tough, and everybody wanted to fight me after that. And, so I moved into walking around with a chip on my shoulder. I just made sure I never threw the first punch.
Right.
And I started realizing I was becoming the very thing I hated.
But you had the option again of scholarships in football or dancing.
Football, track, swimming, diving, gymnastics,
Okay.
scholarships with every major ballet company in New York.
Was there anything you weren't good at? As a young bloke?
Cards. I was pretty much a physical machine. You know, I thought that's all I was. You know.
Even though you had all these scholarship offers, even though you were obviously very good at state level and everything you did, you still couldn't reach what your own expectations?
I had a hard time. With feeling like a liar. You know, there's that contradiction that exists in all of us. That's what I hate about the world reacting to violent movies now. You know, it's like we are. I don't think you change anything by denying it. You know, we are territorial beasts, whether we like it or not. We do have that animal side. It's just that we have the choice in our life to choose a different life.
And how important was Ghost in the development of your career?
The main reason I wanted to do it is it seems like the movies with heart, the movies that affect your soul in some way, are the movies that have been the most successful in my life. And nobody else wanted to do this role because how do you play this spook? You know, it's like you don't have the luxury of eye contact, or so you're stuck out on a limb a lot of times. So we went back into the rewrites, and they didn't deal. They would have the scene with the people alive, and then stick the ghost in the corner. And I felt really passionate that no, you should stick the guy right in the middle of it and have it be have him have a very difficult time accepting that he's dead, but just what Ghost has to say about that you take the love with you when you die, and the power of a relationship.
What's the secret of the longevity then? I mean, you've been married for 17 years now? Mm-hmm. I mean, in Hollywood, that's a lifetime, isn't it?
The idea of going to singles bars and trying to start over and to establish that kind of trust, pretty much keeps you there. We've never allowed the friendship to disappear, and we try to focus everything in our lives together. Because so many times people use a marriage license as an excuse to run away in a relationship, and we haven't allowed that to happen.
Coming up, it's the country singer with the biggest lungs.
I like to think I've got a brain beneath the wig and a heart beneath the boobs.
And later, the boy band with the biggest fans. watching Australia's top 10 of everything, and tonight we're counting down superstars in Oz. Busting out at number 8, country singer Dolly Parton. Throughout her career, Dolly had two favourable features that stood out: her singing ability and her cheeky personality. In 1986, Mike Munro made a boob of himself when he got way too personal.
Do you see yourself as a sex symbol at all?
I feel sexy. I try to be sexy, I guess, and pretty, and some people find me bizarre, and some people find me sexy. Here in Sevier County, the loose women, well, that was the women that I thought were beautiful. The ones that were just the trash of the county. I thought they looked great because they had their hair blonde, and I started bleaching my hair when I was about 15. Although I'm a natural blonde, my hair started getting a dishwater dirty blonde, and I didn't like it. It wasn't radiant enough to suit me, so I started putting peroxide on it and wearing makeup. When teasing came out, I started doing that. So I've been at it all my life, trying to be gaudy. I love show business.
Dolly Parton is all show business, though at the moment her emphasis seems to be as much on the business as on the show.
I can't see.
Joy?
Nobody can trick me. Nobody can fool me. I can sit in a room with the biggest businessmen in the world, working on some of the biggest business deals, and I don't feel a bit inadequate. In fact, I always feel like I got a little something on most of them. I like to think I've got a brain beneath the wig and a heart beneath the boobs.
You've always been very protective about your measurements of your striking figure.
Thank you.
Why have you always been...
Well, I don't think it's necessary that people know everything about you, and the reason I never give my measurements is because they go up and down. I mean, it's like I've varied 20 pounds every 6 months. I'm actually not as big as people think, because I'm a tiny little person, and I'm small-boned, and I'm just over-exaggerated. You'd be amazed to know how tiny they really are.
May I ask?
No, you can't. Up yours, Buster.
Settling into the number 7 spot is actress, comedian and host Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi is only one of 12 people ever to win an Oscar, Emmy, Tony and Grammy. I hear she's recently checked into Overachievers Anonymous.
Have you really paid your dues? Because it seems to us down here that you have become the overnight sensation. But have you paid your dues, as actors say?
Yeah, I'm 20 years doing this.
Really?
You know, I started out as a straight Shakespearean actor, and 4 or 5 years ago decided that it's very hard to get work, you know, if you look like this. It's a little tough if you don't look like, you know, some top model or something. So when you go to people and say, I can do this, they say, well, yeah, right, but you don't look right, so we're not going to hire you. So my show was put together so that I could say, prove to me I can't do it. This is what I can do. Now name something you think I can't do. And they couldn't, and instead they made me a star.
So do you have
Two
different colour eyes?
Yes,
One blue eye and one green eye?
yes. Here comes the camera. It's like,
But I've never read that. I've never read anything about that. Why don't... That's remarkable.
because nobody ever looks in your eyes when they talk to you.
But they're quite beautiful.
Thank you. Are you married? Yes, you are.
I'd never read that. That's quite... And yet it's quite astonishing.
Yeah.
Well, now I know why Colour Purple wasn't in black and white.
Yes. You know.
Now you keep playing this thing. I've read as well, odd-looking people. I mean, you're not
Yes.
odd-looking.
Well, I am if you look at fashion magazines.
You don't fit the Californian beauty.
No, or the New York beauty. I mean, I look like the person who lives next door. We all kind of look like normal people. We have weight problems, goes up and goes down. These women in the magazine, they never have weight problems. They never have zits. Their lipstick is always perfect. Their hair is always done. This stuff, I don't have to do anything to it. I wake up and there it is. You know? But, I mean,
Do you really?
Yes, I don't ever have to touch this, you know. I wash it with a toothbrush, so I don't have to take it out. It's great, I have it all down, and it makes it easier for me to work as characters with this, because this can be male or female. But when you look at what Hollywood puts out, and the kind of people that are in the movies, they don't look like me, and they don't look like your audience. They look very different, like Barbie dolls. And for as long as Hollywood has existed, this has always been the way. And then suddenly I come along and they go, well, yeah, you look a little weird, but you're good. You know, you're good. And so finally now, I can say to them, I would like to make this and this film. And the movies that you send to Meryl Streep and you send to Jane Fonda, you may also send to me, and they do.
Where do you go from here then? I mean, I know that you almost finished your second movie, but are they going to keep coming up with roles for mid-30s black woman who doesn't fit the Hollywood stereotype?
No, they're going to come up with roles for a good actor, which is what they've done. I'm doing starting a film called The Burglar, in which I play a cat burglar, that was written for a guy called Bruce Willis, who does a show called Moonlighting. And he changed his mind about doing it, and so I said, I can do this, and they gave it to me. And then I'm doing a film called The Bodyguard, and then Facing the Crowd, a remake of that, which is a great, great film.
All these things are planned out, I think.
Yeah, I've already signed them. Signed the contracts. They can't take them away.
Just in case, huh?
Yes.
Counting down the top 10 superstars in Oz. And Karma coming in at number 6 is Culture Club's Boy George. In the early 80s, George was breaking moulds and eyeshadow sales. In 1984, he didn't bat a false eyelash when it came to his critics.
George, the difficulty in interviewing you is to know where to start. Where do you suggest that we start?
Feet upwards.
or
vice versa.
the head down, probably, because that's what everybody's familiar with now, aren't they?
What, my head?
Yeah.
Well, people are familiar with the way I look, but that's not unexpected, I suppose.
How important do you think the success of Culture Club has been because of the way Boy George looks?
I think most of it's down to personality. I mean, you can dress up and be as dumb as hell, you know. I mean, you can go out to clubs in London, I'm sure you can in Australia, and you see people who are dressed up to the nines, look outrageous, but you speak to them and they've got, like, one-word answers. You know, you say, oh, how are you? Yeah. You know, so, I mean, really, a lot of it, I mean, I've always thought that eccentricity has got nothing to do with the way you dress. If you're eccentric, you're just a loony, full stop.
Is that the way you see yourself?
Well,
do you regard yourself as an eccentric?
I see myself as a personality, as a person, as a human being, and I don't want to be just another human being. Of course, it's important the way I look. But if you want to be just outrageous for the sake of it, you can just always run down the street naked, can't you?
Culture Club and Boy George in their formal gear, off to Britain's Music Oscars, the 1984 Rock and Pop Awards in London. And at 6 feet and 160 pounds, not exactly a petite little thing, George, for the second time in 2 years, takes out the most popular personality award.
I'm a very real person, you know, people can come up and talk to me. When I go out on the street, nobody is frightened to speak to me, nobody. I mean, people are rude. Yeah, sure, some people are, but they're jerks. I mean, they're rude to anybody. They're rude to you if you're black, you know.
What are some of the rude things, by the way, that people say to you?
Guys come up and say things like, you know, they want to give you one and things like that, you know. And I just turn around and tell them, you know, bleep, bleep.
What do you think is the most offensive thing anybody's ever said to you?
There isn't anything that, you know, nothing offends me particularly. I just think that people... I don't like people trying to be clever with me. I don't care what anyone says to me, because nothing can upset me or outrage me. You know, no comment. I've heard everything, you know. You know, words you haven't heard in the Bible, but nothing could offend me. What I'm saying to you is that the people that say, oh, Boy George is a puff and Boy George is an idiot, they hate black people, they hate fat people, they hate people with glasses, they hate the guy who pulls out in front of them on the highway. They just hate everyone. They're miserable people, you know. There are so many, you know, of them, but then there are so many people who aren't like that. You know, what I like to say is that everybody is wonderful until proven otherwise. All people are good people.
If somebody did call that sort of thing out to you, how would you react?
They'd get they'd probably get a mouthful of abuse. They'd probably be so astounded at what I said, they probably wouldn't say another word.
Would you say that you probably had an opinion about most things?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, how can you live and not have an opinion? You know?
Well, let me ask you for a few of your opinions about things. What about royalty and the Queen?
Well, let's say I'd rather have the royal family than a fascist dictator. You know, I mean, I believe that we should, you know, keep our culture in this country. And I think the royal family is part of that culture. So obviously, you know, I feel the same way about them as I do about restoring old buildings. You know, I think that we should do that.
Love. What does George think about love?
Well, I think love is the most important thing ever to anybody. I think everybody's looking for love, no matter what they say. You know, I mean, even when you see sort of old men going into dirty bookshops with brown paper bags, they're all looking for it in a different way. I think it's the most important thing in the world.
Marriage?
I think that if you love somebody, you don't have to prove it.
What about success and fame, and has it spoiled George O'Dowd?
I think that the nice thing about it is that the band, on the whole, as a band, none of us have had time to sit back and say, oh, how wonderful it is. I mean, you don't see films of Culture Club in French chateaus, you know, sunning their asses on the beach, you know. We're not like that. I mean, we're very conscious of that. I think that you mustn't rub things in people's faces. You know, I mean, I worked very hard to be successful, and I'm not about to give it up, but I'm not going to start rubbing it in people's faces, you know, unless it's necessary. You know, there are certain people that you want to sort of run over in your Rolls Royce, but basically, you know, you have to be loyal to your surroundings and to the things that made you what you are.
Next up, we have the famous five coming in at number 5, One Direction. Here's some interesting facts. Each member is worth $85 million. They sold 20 million albums worldwide, and they used 2.3 million litres of hair product in their 6 years together. True story.
You know, 4 albums in 4 years is a lot for a lot of people, and I think, you know, we feel like we just want to make more music for people every time because they, you know, they show such incredible support every time we have brought stuff out. So, yeah.
Because we keep hearing that the One Direction bubble's going to burst. We heard it after the first album, we heard it after the second album, we heard it after the third album. It's not going to happen, is it? Is it?
The trick is there is no bubble.
It's all a conspiracy, yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Smart. Don't play with bubbles. Because conventional wisdom says that teenagers are fickle. You know, this mob's fickle, and they're always looking for the next, you know, hot hit. And that boy bands technically don't last forever. But I mean, do you have that in the back of your minds? Do you have a strategy for that?
The thing is with us is we're in an incredibly lucky position in that, you know, the way that everything happened for us in terms of just kind of how crazily it happened on, you know, social media and stuff is unheard of in terms of the way it happened in kind of how it spread and stuff, and how, you know, the fans kind of made sure everyone else knew about it if they didn't know about it. And I think, you know, you just don't see that very often. So I think, you know, if there was ever a time when, you know, I think all of us feel lucky to have kind of been involved in it at all, and the fact that it keeps going is just amazing.
Because you're not even really a boy band anymore. You're a man band now, I think. You know? Don't you think? Like, you know, Liam, not Liam, no, you've got chest hair, you've all got facial hair.
Louis, it still hurts. Actual hair.
That was a lot as well now. Yeah, no.
Okay, maybe there's still a little bit of boy in it. Liam, you said in the book that sometimes you are a little bit afraid about asking girls out. Is that true?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, for sure. Then I got a girlfriend, and now I don't have to anymore.
No, you don't have to
nice.
worry about it anymore. Because Harry, reportedly, you don't share that fear. But from what I read,
I think that people imagine that, you know, if you're in a band or something, you kind of lose all normal things. But I think, you know, we still have every insecurity that every other 19, 20, 21-year-old boy has. All right, that solves it then.
After the break, Billy Crystal's embarrassing glandular problem.
We're all glands. That's all we are. Oh, I can hear these kids on the other side of the door.
Now.
And later, our number 1 superstar that schlepped all the way to Oz. Coming in at number 4, it's Alien Annihilator, Will Smith. In '97, Will arrived in Australia with 2 jobs to do. The first, promote his new film, Men in Black, and the second, teach a middle-aged white woman how to be gangster.
Well, welcome to Midday.
Oh, why, thank you. I'm just really happy to be here.
You are, I said ultra cool. You are so cool. Now, the sunglasses, you've come out. Tell
like
us
that?
how to be cool. What is it about sunglasses that make you so cool?
Well, see, you know, it's very interesting. See, cool is all about making subtle changes, right? See, because that's the thing, like, it would be uncool for me to be talking like this, and, right? See, that's too quick a change. You know, you have to make subtle changes. Like, for example, you go from here, right? You know, now that's cool, right? Then you want to smile. Someone said something funny. It would be uncool to go, right? That's not cool. So you go, You see that? You feel that? You know, the subtle changes. Or if you're already laughing and you want to go back to cool, you can't go, you know, it's a subtle change. You go, you know, it's the subtle changes that make all the difference in the world.
That's not a pair of sunglasses. This is a pair of sunglasses.
Whoa! Whoa! Wow.
Am I cool?
See?
Is this cool?
That's too much cool for one person. Let me try it. Let me try it.
Please.
You know, because
I want to be cool.
I can't make a really accurate, you know, decision until I actually try them myself.
Oh. They're cool.
Those are cool. They just froze my face. They got a...
That is very cool. Doing Men in Black, it's a tough call with all those special effects because the effects are so sophisticated these days.
There were the completely digital special effects, which were the most difficult to deal with because that's when you just perform, when there's just nothing there. They like make an X on a piece of paper or something like that, and that's supposed to be the alien's face. And they'll put him in there, and then he's... and all of that type of stuff, and I learned how to, you know, I have to fight him and all that. But that's the most tedious, difficult part of filmmaking, just the special effects, dealing with them, because, like, your head has to be a certain way, too, when you say the line. There's only one way off of this planet, baby, and that's through me. You know, okay, I'll cut your head's in, it's a little, oh, you need to hear, yeah. It's only one way off of this planet, baby, and that's through me. Oh, my head, my neck's too stiff. All right, so loosen up, but stand here, okay. You know, you just do that for hours until they get the shot the way that they need it.
You were a rapper?
I was a rapper.
A rapper.
It's just funny how you say that. A rapper? Rapper? No, it's just, I just, you know, because, you know, rap, like, you know, just to hear, a rapper? that's very funny. No, I'm saying, it's cool, though. It was very, a rapper? You know, it's just, you know, because I'm an actor / rapper, you know. I think that I enjoy doing both, you know, acting and rap. And like when I get an opportunity, like with Men in Black, to do the film and then also perform the song, you know, it's very fulfilling, you know. I have a lot of myself that I'd like to share with you all, and it's just wonderful to have the opportunity.
Oh. Is that your Oscar speech?
You thought Billy Crystal was the bomb, so we've dropped him in to number 3. In 1994, he explained to Ray Martin why you should never take your pants off in front of royalty.
Now, I once sat with Princess Di at the royal premiere of When Harry Met Sally in London.
Did you?
Now,
Did you?
You know where I'm going? Hey, look at this. You know where this is a true story. You come into this beautiful theater. You okay? And the trumpets, they give the entrance, whatever the song is. I don't know. I don't live there, but it was a Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. And then she walks in because she's Sipper, you know. So she comes in. She's very tall. Have you met her at all?
I haven't met her, no.
Oh, she's great. And she comes in, and she's just very alive, and she's beautiful. And I walked in next to her, and Meg Ryan was on her other side. And you wave to everybody, and you sit down. And I know what's gonna be in the movie in about 45 minutes. You know, you know what scene I'm talking about. And I'm nervous about that. And there she is. And the credits go, the lights go down. The credits start to go. And she whispers to me, "I'm gonna take my shoes off." So so I'm gonna take my pants off. And it's true. And she laughed, and then I must have blown it about 20 minutes in.
Did she take her shoes off?
Yeah, she did.
And you?
No. I blew it about 20 minutes in when I went, "Boy, am I tired." You know, I did one of those things. But I just wanted to see, you know. But then the famous fake orgasm scene in a delicatessen happens, and the audience is, the screen is there, we're up on the balcony, the two of us, right? There's this royal box, the three of us make, and the audience is hysterical, but they're watching her at the same time because they want to see how the princess is going to react to this, oh, stuff, right? And everyone's it was like, And she was rocking back and forth, and she would slam into the chair behind me. Like, boom! And I would just, you know, it was hysterical. It was really, I've had some, you know, perks that way. It's funny.
Did she make any comment after the movie?
She went...
She didn't relate to anything?
Yes, she did. But I'm not sure who fakes what in that relationship, you know?
But the movie itself was a turning point for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Suddenly suddenly you're a leading man, not just a top comedian. You suddenly did that improve your status with your daughters?
Being a father to daughters is difficult at any, you know, rate. If I ever, you know, when I ever kiss somebody on screen, you know, their heads go around faster than The Exorcist, you know. They don't like to do that, yeah.
Right.
That or smoking. If I'm ever smoking in a scene, they hate that, you know. So I never write a character who really, you know, smokes. But when do you have children?
Yes.
Yeah, girls?
Little girl, 9.
9. Ah, the best is yet to come. You remember when you were a kid? What you got away with, or tried to get away with, and we're all glands. That's all we are. Oh, I can hear these kids on the other side of the door. No. But that's how I was. You're the same way. I remember my first date. I'm wandering through the neighborhood. I can't remember how to get to the girl's house. Make a left. Thank you. I get to the door, and I hear something that scares me to death. Let me ring the bell. Forget it, I'll not. Then you walk in. No, then you walk in. You walk in, and there's our old man who's usually like a police officer, you know, somebody. Hello, Billy, you ever seen a 38 before? You know? Hey, guys, why don't you sit down? I can't. And you're doing pretty good, and then the family dog comes in who wants to play, and he's all over your leg, and he's doing the same thing you are, and you know. Forget the girl, I want the dog.
Coming up, a very young Mr. Cruz falls in love with Australia.
This is a great country. I tell Nick I want to move here.
You want to move here?
We only have 2 numbers left in our Superstars in Oz countdown, and this one is a no-brainer. Yes, he had me at hello as well. It's Tom Cruise. By 1993, Hollywood had well and truly showed Tom the money, and he was happily married to Nicole Kidman. Here's a young Tomcat pre-Splitsville.
The Risky Business was the breakthrough then?
I guess on an international, certainly domestic level, that was a real breakthrough. But Taps for me was a terrific character and a good stepping stone for me. I really learned a lot. And also working with Francis in his workshops, just as an actor, really finding out. And
Francis Ford Coppola?
Yeah, Francis Ford Coppola. Working with him really helped me a lot. He had these workshops, and we all got to improvise and work on characters. And
but again, you're very lucky, aren't you? You say Francis Ford Coppola. There are a million actors around the world who would give their left leg to walk, and I mean, it's Scorsese and all those others. Yeah. I mean, was it deliberate? I mean,
It was my personal choice and tastes of what I liked and what I wanted to do, but you're fortunate enough that these people hired me and wanted to work with me.
Yes.
You know, and it just so happened at those times there were roles that I could play, and I had the opportunity to do it.
You've just finished the film. I mean, presume you act your tail off in that one, so you're happy.
Act my tail off, yeah.
I was being polite. Yeah. But you obviously are in a position now where you can pick and choose. Why did you pick the firm?
I was unemployed. I needed a job.
Unemployed?
No, seriously. Because I thought it was a great yarn. You know, it had... when I read the book, it read like a screenplay, and it had a terrific premise, I felt.
What do you learn from Gene Hackman?
It's not like you go to school and I learned how to add 2 and 2. 2 and 2 equals 4. I think that there's a certain level of confidence that one gains in their own ability to do what they do, you know, and how I prepare for something. And also it just gives you a different viewpoint on how they prepare. Yeah. And Gene Hackman, who's a brilliant actor, he's very hard on himself as an actor, and that works for him.
you know. But people have different ways. There's no one way to do something, you know.
But a smart man or a smart woman sits and watches someone who's as good as he is and simply says, well, that's interesting.
To make a good movie, no one sets out to make a bad one, and even the greats, you know, slip or sidestep, but just because of their adventurous souls, you know, they want to try something new, they want to try something different, and for that, you know, I can only applaud them.
All right, how important is winning Academy? How important to you would be winning an Oscar? I mean, Michael Douglas said that it's all gravy after that. After you've won an Oscar, it's all gravy.
Listen, the Academy Awards are, I think, terrific for movies, and I think that anyone getting one is a huge accolade and wonderful. But, you know, where the picture like A Few Good Men could get nominated and the director not get nominated, you know, that's questionable. I think that they're, you know, not to say that, you know, it isn't wonderful to win one, or, you know, that someone deserves it more than another, you know, because really movies are all a matter of taste.
Yes.
You know, what you might think is the best picture you've ever seen, I might go to it and go, God, I really, geez, Ray, you know, I don't see what you see in it. But doesn't mean that it's not true for you or that it isn't a brilliant movie, you know, because that's what you believe.
Kirk Douglas said was once that a good actor's not judged by a movie or by box office potential, but by the sort of portfolio. You've now got the portfolio. Can you stop and say, I'm good at this?
You know, I feel good about some things that I've done, and I feel really happy with my life now.
Could you call Australia home?
Oh yeah, I feel this way now. Yeah, now I do. This is a great country. I tell Nick I want to move here.
You want to move here?
Yeah.
Serious?
Oh, it's more relaxing, you know, which makes it feel, you know, I feel like I'm home actually.
You've seen tonight, we've counted down 9 of our 10 superstars that made it to Oz, but now it's time for our most favourite celebrity visitor. At numero uno, it's one of the most talented comedians of all time, the late Robin Williams. In 1996, Williams achieved the impossible. He rendered Kerry-Ann Kennelly speechless for the first time ever.
I'm just so excited to be here. Well, I can't show you. Because you'd have to back up. Sorry, already. You see? Sorry. Too much already, isn't it, dear? But let's do the makeover anyway. Wait. Don't be afraid. I'm going to do some teasing of your hair. Nah. Relax. My hair products, I like to use different types of products to make my hair stand up. What I have made is a product that combines sperm and mousse. It's called Spooce. It comes in a little applicator. Most go like this. Mine is like that. Okay, I'm kidding. Already the editor's, oh, God, no! Cut away, back to clip. Sorry.
Well, you did get a little experience with the hair moussing and all that.
Dear,
From Mrs. Doubtfire,
God.
Birdcage.
Yes, I've been there. Yes, there's only so many times you can dress up in those clothes and say you don't enjoy it. I'm wearing teddies right now. I bet there's a lot of guys who don't admit to wearing teddies. You know, guys who go duck hunting going, I'm wearing women's underwear. I'm not the type of guy you go, hey, I said, hold on right now. But, you know, it is, I have done that, yes. Mrs. Doubtfire was a big bad woman, really. Kind of Margaret Thatcher on steroids. And I couldn't play the drag part in this. I thought I'd done that. And given the fact that I'm wearing these lovely opera gloves, that I can't, you know, if I had to really, I'd be like using a weed whacker or dipping in depilatory for a couple of days, so I decided to take the other part. You're looking at me like I'm going to hurt you. So we were doing the basic instinct shot. How many times do you think Sharon Stone didn't know when they start laying dolly track? Like... Sharon, let me get a light reading. Sorry. And the makeup man's going, I'm sorry, dear, I have to do this. Okay, good luck, Susan. Your mother's watching? Oh, well. My mother's watching going, I know him. My mother was a man, so that's why I'm used to this. So hard breastfeeding is a little hairball. I guess we should start.
I want you to look perfect, but you've spat all over yourself.
I used to do that all the time. Someone I know? No, I'm sorry.
I wanted to do it for you, but I mean, it's gone
now. You can
now.
do it for me.
No.
Don't be afraid.
Whoa.
Men have nipples too. Dialing Moscow. It's okay. Shh. There was no one you know. Oh, a pianist. God bless you, sir. I've always had pianist envy. It's a wonderful thing. It's not the size of the organ, it's how you play the keys. We're back. Thank you. Sorry.
No, don't.
Don't be. At any moment you're about to go, please let me go.
Is there any time when you are on stage doing stuff when all of a sudden you go, no, can't go there?
At the Academy Awards, yeah, I was like, I mean, that's a difficult audience to... Years ago I did it.
Are they a terrible audience?
No, they really want to laugh. They just need medication. There's little pools of Perrier under every chair. It's like, you know, because as the night goes on, more and more people lose. So they're like, you know, if it had an open bar, I think it'd be a lot more fun. Because it'd be great if someone had it sitting there with a cocktail, and the winner is somebody else. Wouldn't it be great, you know? I want to see the Nobel Prize Academy Awards. The Nobel Academy Awards would be really exciting. Wouldn't that be great? And here's your host, Mother Teresa and Stephen Hawkins. What a nice night it is to be here. Come on, Teresa, let's bring out the Nobel dancers. It's a molecule. And splitting atoms, nuclei. We're here to save you, try you know. And here is a black hole. All the energy is gone. Hubble telescope looking at stars. Little tiny lander landing on Mars.